Today's video is sponsored by SpeedCubeShop. Really, MoYu V9? I think we were better off with the ear, but I guess we couldn't expect much from a company that called their UV coating magic clothes. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out SpeedCubeShop Lunar, Weight 5, as well as the WRM V9. Huge thank you to SpeedCubeShop for sending me all of this, and without further ado, let's get right into today's video. First, let's get started with the MoYu WRM V9 Ball Core Edition. Now in here, we have the accessory box as well as the cube itself. Let's go ahead and start with the accessory box. First, we have a pamphlet on how to solve a 3x3, pretty standard, and we're not going to be going over that right now. Next, we have a pamphlet on how to use some of the tools that are included, including this weird display box, which strangely enough is not in this year's release. So I don't know why they're including this, and it seems kind of off for MoYu. Next up, we also have the two tools used to adjust tension, a screwdriver, as well as some dual adjust replacement pieces. And this one is for adjusting the actual system. Now let's talk about this cube. So this year we have a brand new box design as well. And it's time for our monthly dose of how to open this cube box. Okay, that has to be the least intuitive cube box design I have seen. So essentially, the way you open it is you have to squeeze these two parts and these two parts together to get the box to open. And I am not a big fan of this box design because one, it's hard to open, and two, because it comes apart into two pieces. And if you're anything like me, I have a tendency to lose things that become two pieces when they open. But I'll probably be keeping this box around just in case I need it in the future. Now let's get on to the actual cube. We have the standard plastic packaging that MoYu tends to like. So let's go ahead and pop this open and see how the cube actually is. So the cube comes in three versions. We have the standard version, the Maglev version, as well as the ball core version. And the ball core version comes in a UV coating. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, MoYu used to call this the magic clothes, but now it's called UV like every other company calls it. Strangely enough, I'd actually say the MoYu coating feels a lot more smooth than the GAN coating, even though that's not necessarily true. I think generally it's just that this one is slightly less grippy, but I'll give you guys my opinion on that after I've used it a little bit more. Another thing to note that has changed is the logo. MoYu has used to use a sticker logo design, which I am not a big fan of because I just end up, the sticker just ends up peeling off and I have to remove it, which is kind of a shame because I typically like my cubes to have a brand on it. Without further ado, let's get into first turns. Oh my gosh. Look at that alignment. I don't think even my GAN 13 had this level of alignment right out of the box. I still can't get over this. This is some... I know they advertise this as like 30-degree attraction, but this is crazy. The one thing that really astounds me about this cube after using it for about 2 days now is its speed. Out of the box, this cube was definitely faster than my setup GAN 13, and that's quite an achievement. And even after using it for 2 days, that speed is still there because I thought it was going to be something that maybe it was just out of the box factory lube or something, but in fact it seems that this cube is actually rather dry out of the box. You can actually hear it. I haven't lubed it yet. And it has retained this speed for over 2 days now and a lot of solving. So I think this cube is just this fast. And honestly, I really love this feeling. Except the one thing that I might critique is that this speed causes it to be slightly uncontrollable. Even though the speed allows me to do some crazy things when spamming ELGs, sometimes I just overshoot a little bit and that just ruins the entire solve. Of course, this cube being too fast is not something a little bit of lube cannot fix. And that's why I have right here SpeedCubeShop Weight 5, one of their custom silicone lubes. SpeedCubeShop has been kind enough to send me this entire package, and let me tell you a little bit about them. When it comes to their speed lubes, Weight 5 is perfect for track lubing and slowing down your cube so that it's a little bit easier to control. SpeedCubeShop also sells a variety of other lubes, including their best-selling Cosmic series, which I can say from experience are easy to apply and wonderful to use. This right here is Lunar, a silicon-based lubricant that is designed to make your cube feel fast and smooth. Other than lubricants, SpeedCubeShop also sells nearly every cube you can imagine, from best-selling speed cubes to $600 gemstone 3x3s to wonderful mini mats. They are the one-stop shop for everything cubing related. So if you want to go pick up your own Cosmic or Speed lubricants, this WRM V9, or anything else, go to SpeedCubeShop.com to get started today. Now let's talk about some of the specs of this cube. This right here is a 55mm cube, which makes it slightly smaller than your average 56mm cube, but of course that difference is hardly noticeable because it's just 1mm off each side, and personally I like my cubes to be slightly smaller so it's easier to hold. In addition, this cube is also slightly heavier than your average scan cube, but the weight difference is again hardly noticeable, and personally I think the weight is not too bad. This cube does not directly have a primary or dark colored internal, as all of the pieces are just made up of 2 pieces or 3 pieces of plastic. However, the tracks down here are a very nice teal color. Now, depending on the version of this cube you have, which there are 3, the internals will be a different color. On the standard version, you have everything that is on a normal cube, which means you have the edge to corner magnets as well as springs in the core. On the Maglev version, you have all of that, except the springs are replaced with, of course, Maglev. And finally, on the ball core edition, you have a ball core, which means that there are attracting corner to core magnets and repulsing edge to core magnets. As I mentioned before, if you want UV coating, you are going to have to buy the ball core edition, and if you do buy the ball core edition, you have to have UV coating. This means that there is no frosted ball core version, but if you are planning to spend a bunch of money on a ball core edition, the UV coating is a great way to protect your cube as well as have a better grip on your cube. If you like fast cubes or just like a really smooth and speedy experience while having a very controllable cube, I would definitely recommend the WRM V9. With all that being said, I think it's pretty safe to say that the WRM has once again defeated GAN while offering those premium features at nearly half the price. And that is something only MoYu can do.